been quite a while since I've posted a video, and there's a reason for that. I'm disgusted, absolutely disgusted with the direction America is going. Sure, Republicans are evil, corporate, toady reprobates, but with only a handful of exceptions, so are the Democrats in Congress as well. The neocon plan to bankrupt America is going quite well, one that will benefit only the rich and the Chinese government who loaned us the money for this moronic war, all at the expense of the middle class and the poor. Hell, we're on the verge of a recession right now. Corporations have been in control of our leaders for far too long, and as Al Gore has said about global warming, we are entering the period of consequences. I could go on and on about net neutrality and mortgage bailouts and habeas corpus and torture and all the other anti-American and unconstitutional things the Republicans have disgraced this country with. Never mind that the president's plan for Iraq is he'll try to blame its failure on the next president. There's a much more pressing matter at hand. George W. Bush is about to commit another war crime, one that will pale in comparison to Iraq. And Congress has already given the okay for it. As Arthur Silber warned us several months ago, we are about to attack a sovereign nation without provocation against international law solely to thrust the U.S. into what George W. Bush has already told us he'll do. A war that will take decades to recover from. The targets have been allocated, the preparations are ready, the armed forces are on standby, and because of what the cowardly Democrats in Congress have done, the authorization to attack Iran is in place. Here's Arthur.
The Senate approved, by a vote of 97 to nothing, an amendment that accuses Iran of committing acts of war against the United States. Thus, if we were to attack Iran, we would be purportedly only be acting defensively, and in response to what Iran has already done. This amendment, based entirely on unproven propagandistic, intentionally warmongering allegations, was pushed in large part by Lieberman. Democrats and progressive bloggers may condemn the former Democrat all they wish. The fact remains that every Democratic senator who voted on this measure voted for it. When the wider war begins, they will have no serious basis on which to object. In a similar manner, the House approved a resolution by a vote of 411 to 2, and that, as they say, is the ball game. The Democrats don't object, and they completely fail to mount serious opposition to our inevitable course toward widening war and an attack on Iran, not because they're cowards, not because they're afraid of being portrayed as weak in the fight against terrorism, and not because of any of the other excuses that are regularly offered by their defenders. They don't object because they don't object. That is, they agree. They agree that the United States is the indispensable nation, that we have the right to tell every other country how it is permitted to act, that we must pursue a policy of aggressive interventionism supported by an empire of military bases. They agree about all of it. Moreover, in most critical respects, they devised these policies in the first instance, and then they implemented and defended them more vigorously and more consistently than Republicans, with the exception of the criminal now residing in the White House. They agree. Try to wrap your head around it. Try to absorb the indisputable fact, which has been proven over and over and over again in the last century, and particularly in the last 60 years.
Iran is not Iraq, and it will have long and far-reaching consequences to our country. There will be an attack in America, or attacks. They will fuel the insurgency in Iraq. There will be a draft. There will be a deep recession, and America will have a war that strikes home. It repulses me that the Democrats in Congress have gone along with the neocons' imperial dreams. Hillary and her corporate cronies won't stop it. Obama won't stop it. Kucinich can't get elected. So the way I see it, the only hope we have of repairing the damage George W. Bush and Dick Cheney are about to inflict on the American public is John Edwards. America is not the same place it used to be, and it never will be again. We are now living in a fantasy. So enjoy it while it lasts, because soon America will be a place our forefathers would not recognize. We will soon have more in common with fundamentalist Islamists, or pre-war Germany, than the America of just 50 years ago.
Welcome to hell.
Courtesy of the Bush administration, the Republicans, the Democrats who went along with it, and the jingoistic simpletons who made it all possible. I hope you show them the mercy they deserve when the time comes. And if there are any Democratic challengers to the tutu-wearing ones we have in Congress, then I hope you vote for them.